Hello everyone, my name is Gregor and welcome to our new episode Surfing the Elliott Waves, where I will look at some of the most interesting developments for this week. This video has been brought to you by Orbex. I will look at Aussie versus US dollar and versus Japanese yen, S&P 500 futures, Euro dollar and Euro pound. Now let's take a look firstly on Aussie. As you know, market surprised. Bank of Australia lifted rates more than expected. Of course, they want to stop this inflation. There's still a lot of risk going on because of the situation in Ukraine. So they are seeing potential to even higher prices in the future. That's why they actually decided to lift more than they expected on the first place. Keep in mind, there's also China that came out of a lockdown, so they are back to full economic activity. So this is also something that has a positive impact on Aussie. We also recently seen a really nice bounce on stock markets, on the S&P 500 and copper prices as well. So this is another factor that could put Aussie bulls in play. So looking also from that, not only fundamental perspective, but also from an Elliott wave perspective, we also see some very nice reversals that could send this currency higher. Now, firstly, let's take a look here on a monthly chart. Actually, it's a very big 5-wave drop, but notice that I'm tracking this bullish interpretation, meaning that I will be expecting much more upside in upcoming months, maybe even in the next 12 months or 2 years, because I see this first lag from the low as a wave A. So that was then a wave B pullback, and obviously I will be looking higher for a wave C. And notice that we came very nicely back to this previous supports here when you look back from 2016 levels. So I think that there is a chance that this market will continue higher. Now, to give you a better perspective here from hourly chart, notice that this recent reversal from the latest low of this year, well, I can count 5 waves up. It's not a perfect textbook pattern, I must say, because wave 3 is not extended, which usually is the case or represents the best quality of an impulsive price action. But keep in mind that always reversals from the lows, when a big significant changes in trend occurs, or from a highs, typically this first leg can be much slower than an upcoming very big wave 3. So I still think that this is the first leg of the higher degree recovery, and that we will see more upside after this pullback. This whole pullback can be even wave B, or much better can be wave 2. Okay, so I will be looking for more upside. I still see this ongoing correction headed to lower prices. We recently broke this trend line. We came out here a little bit higher after these earlier decisions, but notice that market quickly stabilized, also due to the fact that US dollar is actually strong at the moment. For the last few days we see US yields again turning higher, so this is something that put the resistance in place here, at least short term, on Aussie. So I will be looking and seeking for much better lower supports. If we take a look at potential FIBs here, so here we have these FIB retracements. Normally you will see me looking for 50 and 61.8%. Also the 38.2% could be very interesting, but because this was the first leg and an extended one, okay, you will potentially see a retracement all the way back to the wave 2 support rather than only back to the wave 4 support. Okay, because wave 3 was not that extended. So that's why I think that this area around there, around 70-50, could be much more important. So I will be patiently watching how the price action will actually unfold over the next few days, but I think that this currency is a buy the dip pattern right now. So I will be bullish as long as the market is holding these May levels. Also, if you look at Aussie yen, we have ongoing bullish impulse here. Yes, we are in 5th wave, already at the new high, but even this 5th wave should be subdivided by 5 smaller waves. So if you look closely here on the 4-hour chart, notice that we have here very nice 3-wave drop, and then we reversed sharply to the upside. More importantly, we broke this trend line resistance connected from the highs, and then we have seen this extended lag. Okay, so this is something that you will typically see in the middle of this 5-wave rise. Okay, so this lag, this structure will be extended. So where are the opportunities? Well, after these retracements. Okay, so I will be patiently watching the next retracement for potential 5th wave run here. So what I see here is wave 3 of 3 approaching some resistance. We obviously cleared some stops here at the new highs, and now price is trying to come back to the downside. So I think that this wave 4 can be in play. Notice that we have a minor degree of a previous correction here coming in around 94.80. So I will be looking also at the wave B swing high as a potential support here at 93.85. Okay, so so watch out for potential new bounce from here from 94 area. Also, another important factor for higher AUD, as I said earlier, is also the S&P 500. Okay, so the S&P 500 here is coming very nicely to the upside. Now, firstly, let me take a look here on this daily chart, where market bounced from the lower side of this parallel channel. At the same time, notice that VIX Fear Index also retraced or reversed currently to the downside from the upper side of the range, meaning that there's not such a lot of fear in the markets involved anymore after this price stabilization. So I think that there are quite good conditions for potential rally, at least back towards the upper side of this channel. Also, if we take a look here on the 4-hour chart, well, notice that this drop that we have recently seen from 2022 highs actually has 2 equal lags in price and in time. So that was a price, these orange arrows, and then you have also here, you can see in time. Okay, and there was a very nice response from the lower side of this channel, and also more importantly, we broke out of this channel. So it looks like that market is now trying to turn to the upside. So if we see 4,300, I think that this would be a very nice first leg, and then more upside should follow after retracement. So as it looks like right now, I think that this is very supportive for commodity currencies, also Japanese yen in such case, because as you know, Japanese yen and US dollar are usually acting like a safe havens when you have this downtrend on stocks. However, now that's not the case. You have Bank of Japan who is still who is ready to keep interest rates very low as long as needed. So this is something that we have to consider whenever we are looking at yen crosses. We have yen crosses moving much higher. So since we have this Aussie, as I talked earlier, on the other side of this policy with their Bank of Australia decisions, I think that Aussie yen could really see more upside, especially now when you have also S&P 500 trying to turn higher. Now let's take a look on euro dollar. You know that we have this ECB meeting this week. There's speculations for a new hike. Of course, market expects a hike because there was a lot of talks from the ECB team members regarding these higher rates. So they are looking to move out of negative territory this year. They want to fight this inflation. So that's the reason why the euro dollar actually recently turned higher, away from this 2017 supports. So if we see closely here on the 4-hour chart, well, we have this very nice 5 waves up. I think that this represents very nice bullish reversal pattern, meaning more upside after a pullback. I get a lot of questions if I think that that euro dollar has stabilized for a longer term and we are going to see much more upside. I don't know that. What I know is that at least more upside should follow after this current retracement, which can be still wave B or maybe even wave 2. So I think that more upside in either case is possible here. I'm looking for 1.1 level to be seen in the upcoming weeks. Of course, before that, watch out for potential retest of the supports here. There was a lot of noise, as you can see here, within this triangle. Okay, here in this wave 4, and this was back at the start of May, end of April. So I'm looking for price to retrace back into this area. Okay, you also have this these swing supports here of this recent recovery. So I'm looking for price stabilization around 105 to 105.80, from where I would be looking for a third leg rise, which could still later on be final leg of corrective advance rather than no significant bullish turn. So just keep in mind that. Okay, so that's for euro dollar. I think the technicals, fundamentals, all pointing that we could see some supports here on Aussie after the dips. Now let's take a look also on the euro pound. So UK Prime Minister will remain, will stay, Boris Johnson will remain Prime Minister in UK. So what we are looking here, and why I think that euro pound could be quite interesting, because Bank of England in the past few weeks actually mentioned that they should not be so aggressive with interest rates policy decisions with these hikes, because there is a fear for potential new recession. So that's why we have seen recently some pullbacks across this pound crosses, and also you have now these issues with this prime minister. Of course, yes, he will remain prime minister, but still market really does not like uncertainty. So I think that at the moment this euro situation is much better. So in my opinion, euro pound could see more gains. Also from a technical standpoint, I think that we have reached some very interesting area down there, and now we are trying to stabilize, to build a new base here. Also, if you look these more short-term charts, notice that I can clearly count these 5 waves down. Okay, more importantly, that there was a wedge or ending diagonal at the end of this cycle. Normally this puts a lot of bulls in play with a sharp reaction. So I'm still waiting for this stronger recovery, and ideally this may occur after this wave to be pulled back. So for now, I think that this market could slow down at this previous resistance. So we could see a little bit of a pullback and then more gains. Overall, I think that this euro pound on the longer term, I really think that we could see much higher prices later this year and in 2023. Traders, thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and talk to you soon. Bye.